Hi, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about void functions. And a void function is a function that we use for its effect rather than to return a value. So let's look at some examples. Or let's look at one example. So we want to display a greeting at certain points in our program. So we can do that by defining our void function with the keyword void followed by the name of the function. And then we just have whatever we want it to say here, hello world. So that's a very simple definition, but you see the idea. And so then anywhere I want to display a greeting, I simply call it like it's the executable code itself. So what we should see on the screen is hello world. And it's that simple. A void function can have a parameter, just like a value returning function has. So if we want to personalize our greeting a little bit, we can add a parameter for the name so that it's entered a name, so we can say something like this. So we pass a name into the function, and it's going to pick it up and display hello to that person. Hello Joe. So you can use you can use void functions for all sorts of different things, but again you're using it for the effect and not to return a value. So a lot of times what I will see from students of mine in my courses is something like this. Let's look at another example. So I have an add function that's going to add two numbers together, and it's going to write out the result. Okay, so we can call that very simply like so. Watch. You can say add 1 and 2. And there, it gives me the right answer. So it gives me 3, because it's what I expected it to. But here's the problem. I can't use that any place. There is no value returning. It wrote it out to the screen. It didn't save it, or it didn't return the value to the program, so I can't assign it a value, so I can't say like something like int num3 equals add 1, 2. If I try to run that, I'm going to get an error. Okay, void value not ignored as it ought to be. If you look down here, you can see the error. So you can't use a void function to assign a value, and that's a very common mistake that I see. So my rule is to almost always use a value returning function when you can, even if it's just to display a string, because you can still use it. Like for example, watch. Let's just see that real quick. I'll call it greet instead of greeting. And we just say return hello, oops, name. Almost did it wrong. Okay, so then right here I can say cout greet Joe. Oops, there we go. And we already have an indel, so I don't need another one, so we'll take that out. Put a semicolon instead. Oops. Oh, see, I did it again. There we go. So it's nice to see your instructor make mistakes every once in a while. Nope, still a mistake. So it's not liking what I'm doing here with my strings. Alright, so let's think about this just for a minute. Let's create a variable. And we're going to leave that off because that may be part of the problem. Well, let's see if that runs. There we go. Okay, so I had a little problem with concatenation with the indel character and what I was trying to do there. So you might do this instead if you really wanted that new line added. There we go. Alright, so again, It's nice to see your instructor every once in a while get messed up on something that he doesn't do all the time, which is create little string functions like this. So anyway, so that wraps up this lesson on void functions. And so void functions are necessary, and there's sometimes when you want to use them, but beware and don't try to use them in a situation where it really should be a value returning function. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.